service.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Orange Blossom Social. I am Dangerous Dave Jaquez. In case you're wondering, that's actually how you pronounce it. It's Jaquez with the accent on the first syllable. Bobby, I've told him about 1,000,000 times, and he still calls me Jaquez with the accent on the second syllable, but that's all right. Anyway, welcome to the Orange Blossom Social. Again, my name is Dave, and we have a special guest with me today, Mr. Jay Allen, right here.
Good morning, everybody.
Host of Center Stage Live.
Good morning.
Every Thursday. Back we have our good buddy Fast Eddie, and we have Clubber Kit Lang.
Clipper.
Clubber Lang. Don't you remember that from Rocky?
Lang. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
We got Kit feet hanging out with us today. We got Captain Kurt back there running the controls. So welcome. Whew. We say it every week, but man, what a weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a good one.
It really was. Center Stage was probably musically, in my opinion, one of the best shows we've ever done.
I think so, too.
We had Emma and, of course, yourself and John, and we had some great entertainment, some excellent choice of songs, just some really good tunes.
Yeah, I got home, and, of course, my wife sometimes comes, but mostly she's at home. And, of course, I get home, she's my biggest critic, and I don't mean that bad. I mean, she'll let me know, hey, you should do this, don't do that. And she says, I think that was one of your best shows ever. So
It really was. I was really happy with the results. Yeah. And coming up this week, we have a great show for Center Stage. We have Gage Boland's coming back.
Yep.
Ty Love is going to be here. John Johnson is going to be back. And
Kathy Pollock.
A new singer to Center Stage. She's been here before. She was part of our Golden Star competition. But Kathy, is it Pollock or Pollock? I believe it's Pollock.
Yeah.
Pollock. It looks
but
like Pollock.
She's wonderful. She's a really good singer. We've really enjoyed playing with her. And we have a new format coming up this week. So you guys need to make sure that if you don't have your tickets to pick them up, or if you're going to be tuning in online. We have a new format we're going to be doing with the show this week, starting out. Going to try something different and see if you guys like it. And if you like it, very cool. If you don't like it,
not cool.
Don't tell us. We are not going to listen anyway.
Blame Jay.
Just blame me. I'm the newest hire, so it's the
right.
last hired, first fired, I think is what they say.
And we had Bruce in the USA Saturday night. Anybody come to Bruce in the USA?
She did. Yep.
It was a good show. A lot of times when you get these tribute acts, they'll either they look like the guy or they sound like the guy, but it's really rare that you get a guy that looks like him and sounds just like him. And this guy looked just like Bruce Springsteen, sounded just like Bruce Springsteen. He did a really good job. His band was fabulous. He had a really good guitar player. And of course, that's the first thing I always look at.
No politics?
Yeah, no politics.
No politics.
It was just all music, and they were really cool to work with. And of course, this past Friday we had our Friday Night Live, and big shout out to my lovely wife Charlene. She came up and joined me for a duet. We were it was my turn for the featured act, and we do a little thing on Friday Night Lives where we feature a particular member of the band. And I talked to Roger and Heather about bringing Charlene up to do a duet, and they're like, yeah, that'd be great. So Charlene did a fantastic job. I want to tell her thank you for coming and singing with me. And speaking of special guests in my family, my son Travis has been here all month. Unfortunately,
he's a pretty good guitar player.
He's not too shabby, isn't he?
Yeah. Now, how early did he take that up? Was it his idea, or did you want to try to teach him how to do that? Or
of course, being my son, he grew up with guitars all around him.
Right.
But I never forced him. I never sat him down and said, here, you're going to learn this. Matter of fact, my younger son is proof that he can't play a lick.
Right.
and he has no desire to play. So and more power to him if he wants to do. He likes doing. Was doing cheer in Tennessee. He's a cheerleader and does all the aerials and stuff like that. And but Travis, when he was a little boy, he was always picking up my guitars and fooling with them. And fortunately, he's left-handed like I am.
I saw that. I thought that was interesting.
So he started playing really, I guess, when he was in his young teens, like 13, 14, something
Did
like
you
that.
teach him, or was he the kid that had the guitar on his back heading to
He's the kid with the guitar on his back that drug it to everything. I hate to say it, but I'm a terrible teacher. I have no patience, and Charlene will tell everybody, yes, he doesn't have any patience. But I can't sit down with, because to me, when I learned it, it came real quick. I started playing when I was 9, so I've always been able to hear something and do it. And when other people can't do it, it confuses me. I'm like, why don't you understand that this is how it goes?
Yeah. I'm that way in the jewelry business. I've done it for a long time, and I can't teach anybody because they start doing it. I said, just get up, let me do it.
Right.
Just go away. It takes them too long, so it drives me nuts.
But Travis is recently out of the military, and he's working for a company that does training for the military now. So he's been in Tampa for the last month teaching at MacDill. But he flies home tomorrow, so unfortunately we won't see him again until December when he comes home for Christmas. So, but I wanted to give a shout out to my kid. Hopefully he gets to watch this. If not he'll watch it on replay. He usually does. But
does he sing too?
He doesn't. I've done my best to try to, and he's got a good voice. I mean he's not that I'm a great singer or anything, but he sounds exactly like me. So he can sing his songs exactly like I can. And, I've made a living at it for a while.
There's a lot of guitarists that are so into the guitar that they won't care about singing.
And
let somebody else do that. Yeah.
All right. I'd like to remind you, if you have any questions or any comments online or in the crowd, to just raise your hand. We got Road Captain Mike over here. He'll bring the mic to you. And we have a Facebook question.
Yes. Does Jay Allen play any instruments?
Oh, good question.
So,
how long have you got?
Yeah. So I can pluck around on the bass, sort of, and I used to be able to play the drums, sort of, but I wouldn't sit at a drum set now, and I'd probably be in traction or something. So that's the long and the short of that question.
Very cool, very cool. Well, thank you for your questions. If you happen to be watching online, make sure you're going through and liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. If you happen to be on Instagram, give us a follow. Make sure you're going through and commenting, even if it's just hello from wherever you're at. The more comments we get, the more interaction we get with our page, the more the page grows. So, and we're real close with our YouTube page to reaching a milestone. So make sure you're recommending us to your friends. If you happen to be on social media or online at all, make sure you're following our YouTube channel. You can watch the replays of this show. You can be notified when they have a bell icon that will let you know when we go live. We go live for almost every show, all the openings. Center Stage is always streamed. So make sure you're doing that. We have another question online.
This one's from some guy named Bobby Randall. He wants to know if any of the guys are wearing pants.
No.
Define pants. Oh, howdy, Bobs.
Speaking of Bobby Randall, we probably should.
Yeah, I was just about to address that.
Yeah,
in case you're wondering, our fearless leader has ventured up north to spend some time with his mother. His mother is a lovely lady that is a little bit advanced in her age. So Bobby went home to spend some time with Mom while his sister is generally the caretaker, and his sister had some stuff to take care of. So Bobby's coming to the rescue, like Bobby has a tendency to do. He rescues everybody.
I heard he went up there to get some shots. that they only have in Michigan.
Well, we weren't going to address that. You know, he's got a doctor up there that.
Yeah. Which doctor? He's in Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some good ones up there, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
But thank you for watching, boss. We're going to hold down the fort for you.
You know, if you were gone, he would probably tell a story that your probation was revoked or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, Bobby's not on probation.
No.
He's done his time.
No, that ended a couple years ago, so that's fine. No,
His debt to society's been paid.
no, but think about him being gone. You know, thinking about a funny story. So I think it's 2019. I hadn't known Bobby very long, maybe a year or two. He played here, and we went up when Nathan Smith, our sound engineer, still had his studio in Nashville, right there, right across the street from Belmont, if I remember correctly. And so Bobby had a house in Gallatin, which is essentially a suburb of Nashville. And before we went to the studio, he said, "Hey, meet me for breakfast," and he gave me the address, and it was in downtown Gallatin. And this is from memory. So Bobby, if anybody doesn't know, if you've never been around him personally, he acts exactly in real life like he does on the stage. That's why he's good on the stage, because that is who Bobby is.
He's a natural.
Yeah, he's a natural like that. So we show up. I meet him. It's probably 7:30 in the morning, and he's sitting in a booth, stretched across the booth, sitting with his back. And it was like this little choke and puke in the middle of nowhere. And I swear, it was like the TV show Alice. This lady comes up, looks just like Flo. And she says, "Bobby Randall, where have you been?" He says, "Well, just got out of prison, so it's been a while." So that would have been the joke that he told. That's the way he is everywhere he goes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's got me a few times on motorcycle runs with the waitresses.
Yeah, yeah, the
See
waitresses.
that guy down there? Yeah.
You go down to County Line with him, and he knows everybody there.
Yeah.
He's like the mayor of County Line.
Willie and I have been married. That's what he told the waitress, that we were celebrating our anniversary. I was like,
That presents
It was
quite a
your
picture
hair.
to the mind.
Right? I don't want to
yeah,
comment on that
Willie
one.
and I didn't see that coming, man. We're just like, oh, great.
Okay, well, we have something very important happening today, fellas. And all you people in the crowd, today, tickets for the Blues and Brews 2026 go on sale officially today. So if you're not familiar with the Blues and Brews series, it's an incredible series that they've started. They started last year. They're bringing in some world-class blues artists on Wednesday nights. And this year, the lineup is just unbelievable. We're kicking things off on the 14th of January with our buddy Robbie Duran. He does the Stevie Ray Visited tribute. It's one of the best Stevie Ray Vaughan tributes you'll ever see. He sings very well. I wouldn't say that he sings like Stevie Ray, but he plays just like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's going to be an awesome
Yeah,
show.
and
if that good.
he's just a super guy. Following that, we have Journeyman, a tribute to Eric Clapton. Of course, everybody knows Eric Clapton, but I'm wondering if they're going to just focus on his blues stuff, or if they're going to do a full Eric Clapton tribute.
Cream and
Yeah, the whole rock thing, but that's going to be on January 21st.
Eddie, do you have a Eric Clapton signature? Do you have a?
No, I don't. No, I like Clapton, but no, I don't have anything signed by Clapton.
I've been fortunate that I've gotten to see almost every one of my guitar heroes live. I actually got to see Stevie Ray Vaughan live back when I was in high school. I was able to see him. And I've seen, Vince Gill. I've seen Steve Wariner, Ricky Skaggs, all my big guitar heroes. I've never gotten to see Eric Clapton live, actually in person. I had front row tickets to see him in Dallas, and I couldn't get off work.
Yeah.
I was playing in a house band in Dallas, and I couldn't find a guitar player to fill in for me because all the guitar players were at Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was
That's my story with T. Graham Brown. Back in the early '90s, I worked at a radio station in Indiana on the weekends, and WMDH, and they brought in T. Graham Brown for one of their concert series. And I was going to have meet. I love T. Graham Brown. I think he's the coolest guy, the singer. And so I was so excited. And that day, one of the weekend DJs quit. and I had to cover his show, so I didn't get to meet T. Graham Brown until about 5 years ago. He came here, and I told my wife, I got tickets for it. I said, I want to meet T. Graham Brown. And I was standing out there looking at his bus, and he comes walking out, and I'm taking a picture, like 100 miles away from him, and he waves me over and takes a picture. So I thought that was cool. That's sort of
he's a
my
super cool
story
guy,
about
yeah.
somebody you missed, and then 20 years later, I get an opportunity to meet him again.
Cool. Well, like I said, we have Eric Clapton Journeyman Tribute coming on January 21st. Those tickets go on sale today. The 28th, we have Mark Hummel's All-Stars Blues Band. And Mark Hummel is one of the very best blues performers around. Anson Fundberg is playing guitar for him. And if you're a blues guitar player, you know that name because he's one of these legendary blues guitarists. But they're coming the 28th.
Does Mark Hummel sell the little figurines also?
Probably not. I don't think so. No. He's more a blues guy. But February 4th, we have DeSoto Tiger Testimony with Eddie's buddy.
That's another all-star band. Yeah,
another all-star
right
band.
there
We got
that one caught me off guard. They were really, really good.
Boogie Long will be back. Boogie is an amazing guitar player. He won the Guitar Center's King of the Blues contest. Actually, the year that I was in that blues contest, I won the Texas Regional, and I lost to a guitar player from Louisiana that ended up going to the finals in L.A., and Jonathan Long won the whole thing, and that's the guitar player in DeSoto Tiger Testimony.
That'll be a good one.
And that harmonica player is
he's
on another planet. That dude.
He does like is it Mozart that he does?
I've
he
never
does
seen
he does
anything
like
that.
classical
That's worth the
on
price
a
of
harmonica.
admission.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's worth the price of admission right there just to see that dude. I had to get a picture of that
He's
because I
giving a
didn't
thumbs up.
believe
Is that,
him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, February 11th, we have Eric Johansson coming back, a New Orleans boy. He's fantastic guitar player. He was here last year, and I was a fan to begin with, and then when he came in, watching him play live and singing, he's a fabulous singer also, but his guitar playing, he has a very unique style. It leans towards the rock side a little bit, but it's definitely, you can hear all the blues influence, especially the New Orleans influence in his playing.
Now, is there a certain blues guitar, like you played the blues? What would you pick if you were going to play the blues? What type of guitar?
I'm a Telecaster guy. I've always played Tellies because to me the Telecaster is the most versatile guitar there is. You could play country, you could play jazz, you could play rock, you could play blues. But there's arguments to be made for a Gibson 335. There's arguments to be made for a Les Paul. The Gibson ES335 is the one that's hollow with the F holes in it, and they have a unique sound to them, almost an acoustic type sound, and like B.B. King played a ES type style guitar. But Eric plays a guitar made by a company called Duesenberg, and it's similar to an ES style in that it's semi-hollow and has an F hole, but it's much smaller, so it has a more focused sound. It's really cool. Like I said, he's a fantastic guitar player. And then on February 18th, we have Duke Tomato is coming in.
Eddie's favorite blues.
I'm anxious to see it because I've never heard of him, but I'm going to do some research on him.
He's crazy. If you ever Google a picture of him, he's got big crazy hair, and he's just a fantastic guitar. The people up north will probably know him because, like I said, I thought he was
He's
from
a Midwest
Ohio,
guy.
but he plays in Indiana a lot.
Yeah.
He plays
So there used to be an oil change place. I don't think it's around anymore, but McQuick's Oil Lube, and it used to be all over. They had dozens of like Indiana locations, and Duke Tomato did the jingle for it. So
Nice.
Duke Tomato is all over Indiana and the Midwest. So
yeah, he's
a
well known
great guy.
as a roadhouse player,
Yeah, very entertaining. So that would be a good show to go to.
Yeah. And then Stacy Mitchhart is coming back on February 25th. We have Reverend Payton's Big Damn Band coming back on March 4th. Paul Thorne, who's an amazing entertainer, is coming back on March 11th. March 25th, if you're going to buy tickets to any of the blues shows, my recommendation is to buy a ticket for March 25th. We have Tinsley Ellis, who was a contemporary and a good friend of Stevie Ray Vaughan. He did the whole Texas thing back in the 70s and 80s. He's a legendary guitar player, and he's bringing Matt Schofield, who is another amazing legendary guitar player, to open for him. That's March 25th. That Keith and I were talking about that. That's a show I think we're most excited about this year, because Tinsley Ellis, his style is just, I mean, we're going to be here with notebooks, taking notes, stealing all the licks. But that's March 25th. April 1st, we have Walter Trout is coming back. He was here last year. Walter Trout, of course, being a legendary 70s guitar player. He played with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. He played with, what was the name of that band? It was a
Canned
60s.
Heat.
Canned Heat, that's who it was. He was with Canned Heat. And he did a fantastic job. April 8th is the one that I know Eddie's looking forward to.
I love her. She's Texas blues all the way. I love Allie.
Allie
She's
Venable
great.
is coming back, a young Texas guitar player. I remember seeing her when she was like 16 in Dallas at one of these blues shows, and she's only gotten better, and she's still in her early 20s, but just a fantastic guitar player. She's learning to sing really well. When she was younger, she was just a guitar player, like we were talking how some guitar players only focus on guitar. Well, as she's growing, she's focusing on her vocals more, and her songwriting is coming along too.
It says here in the show notes that we're going to have to get a restraining order
Oh, yeah.
on Fast Eddie when she shows
It's already
up.
in the courts, but we
Yeah.
have to get it signed.
I talked to her mom. I got an inside connection over there. Her mom's pretty cool, too. Yeah.
And then wrapping up our Blues and Brews on April 15th, we have the Fabulous Thunderbirds. And while they weren't here last year, they were here the year before. And Kim Wilson, if you've never heard Kim Wilson play harmonica, you're missing out.
Now, is this group, the Fabulous Thunderbird, they've been around for a while?
Yeah,
Is
Kim-
that
Kim Wilson is
that
the lead
basically the
singer.
same people that have been in that group, the core of that group?
Well, it's Kim, the singer harmonica player. It's his band, and they've had
They're
quite a
really
few
good.
famous musicians in and out over the course of the years. Of course, the most famous probably being Jimmy Vaughn, which is Stevie Ray Vaughan's older brother. He was the lead guitar player during all their big hits era. They had the song "Wrap It Up" and
Yep, Tough Enough.
"Tough
Yeah.
Enough." All those tunes. That all featured Stevie's brother Jimmy on guitar. But they're going to be wrapping up the Blues and Brews on April 15th, and once again, those tickets are going on sale today.
Are
So
those all Wednesday shows?
they're all Wednesday shows. So make plans to be here for those shows. Like I said, it's just you're not going to find a better lineup anywhere around for if you're a fan of the blues at all, these are the shows to come to. And of the 13 shows that are coming, the Orange Blossom Opry Blues Band will be opening for 9 of them. So we have something a little special planned for this weekend. If you haven't got your tickets for this weekend, I think you're out of luck, because I think Artemis Pyle is sold out. But we have Artemis Pyle Band coming in Saturday, and because the way Bobby likes to run the show, we try to tailor our opening act to the headlining act. And because Artemis Pyle, of course, famous for being the drummer in Leonard Skinner, we're going to lean heavier towards the rock side. But we have some blues tricks coming in for Friday Night Live and for Saturday. So gonna give the blues band an opportunity
You
to.
gonna play some Molly Hatchet?
Molly Hatchet's not a blues band.
No, Artemis Pyle night.
No, we are. You just have to show up. We got some good stuff coming in.
All right, I'm gonna put on Molly Hatchet in the playlist.
Oh, there you go. That'd be good.
The intro music.
Eddie, how many concerts do you think you've been to?
Oh, 400
If you
or
had to
500.
guess.
That's not including working them here.
Right.
Oh, 400 or 500, I'm sure. Yeah.
What's your number one?
Ooh. Well, being that I've seen the band 45 times, they got to be up there with REO Speedwagon because they're a great live band.
Yeah.
But, man, seeing Adam Lambert and Queen was real high up there. Matter of fact, they're talking, doing the Sphere, and we may just go over there to see that Sphere with Queen. that band has never lost a beat. You know, I mean, Freddie was Freddie, man, but Adam is. That's gonna be that's the most expensive ticket I've ever bought.
So
was
with
that
Adam
show.
Lambert, you close your eyes and you can just
Yeah,
imagine is just.
But
like
he's
you never
not,
missed it.
you know, he's got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's
and-
hard to say you got Freddie, but he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah.
And he brings his own flair to it
Yes, he
also.
does.
So, you know, and Adam Lambert, of course, is an incredible entertainer. So,
That'd be
And
like
Queen
trying to
had
do
so many
trying to
songs.
replace Michael Jackson.
Right.
Just this iconic individual. Yeah.
well, speaking of icons, Jay,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, Jay, if you don't know or if you're just watching online, Jay is the host of our Center Stage shows on Thursdays. Tell us a little bit about where you came from. I mean, because
Well,
You and
when
I only
mom
actually-
and dad love each. No, that's,
you know, you and I have only really recently.
yeah. Just since I've been
Met.
back, I
Yeah.
think I played one time with you last year, maybe.
Right.
Well, so I grew up in a small town in Indiana. I kind of talk about Parker City, Indiana, a lot because I'm really proud to be from Parker City. I mean, I don't want to move back to Indiana, but it's just an iconic town, 1,200 people, give or take. And I always say, imagine the Andy Griffith Show, Mayberry, Parker City. I grew up in the 70s and 80s in Parker City. It's just like if you put color to the Andy Griffith Show, that's the way it was. And
So, being from Indiana, do you know the Jackson 5?
no, they're from the part of Indiana we don't claim. Gary, we just give Gary to Illinois. That's basically a suburb of
Chicago.
You know who else is from Gary is the guy from Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose.
Are you serious?
Really? I didn't
Axl
know that.
Rose is from Indiana. I don't know if it's
I didn't
Gary,
know
but
that.
that part, South Bend or somewhere up there. So, you know, we've got a claim to fame there. Yeah, kind of. Music. So I'm in a long line of musicians from, or singers from Indiana, apparently. So I grew up there, and I, at 17, got into the jewelry business by accident. You know, I was pretty ambitious as a young man. So when I graduated, all through high school, I was working in a car wash, and a friend of mine from church said, "Hey, you know, well, we need an apprentice at the jewelry store." I didn't even really know how to spell jewelry. I had no idea what it was, and I started in that at 17. And 37 years later, I'm still doing it. But
So, how
No,
did you get
so-
into music?
so musically, the little school I went to, we had a music teacher, and she really was into teaching us how to sing. And of course, I sang in the choir all the time at church. And then my brother and I got in. He was here last Thursday. We got into by accident. All these things sort of are not of my doing usually. The pastor at our church said, "Do you boys sing?" We said, "Well, yeah, we do." And we would sing. You know, we'd drive down the road and harmonize with each other, singing to the radio or whatever. And he said, "You know, I really would like you to put some songs together." And so we put some music together, mostly Southern gospel.
Now,
I
how
have a
old were you
lower
when
voice.
when all this happened?
This is by this time I was already married, and
So you got started way late then.
yeah. Besides singing in the choir and everything like that, I was in close to mid-20s, early 30s when I really started doing anything like
Wow.
that. And we started singing. We called ourselves the Six Brothers, but there were only two of us. So imagine how confusing that was. But we started singing, and you know, some of my favorite memories of that is we had this individual, this older gentleman. He kind of reminded me of Ben
Simmons?
Ben Simmons. He was real low key and soft spoken like that, and he found out that my brother and I sang. So he would put together these charity events where he found out in Muncie, in the big town, outside of Parker. He'd put these together. Somebody needed, a roof put on their house, or lower income. He'd put together, and he put 3 or 4 singers together, and it was usually at a black church in Muncie. And Ananias was his name. He was tall. He was like 6'6", and he would call on the phone, and he'd say, "This was back when you didn't have cell phones and you just had a answering machine." And he'd leave a message. He'd say, "Jason, this is Brother Ananias. I need you boys to come sing for me Sunday." And we'd do that. And it was, so he'd get up during the offertory, during when we were taking up, and he'd sit down at the piano and talking about the blues. He would sing an old black gospel song, and on that piano. for about 5 minutes. And that was the best part of the whole show. And then he'd get up from the piano, and it'd take him about 10 minutes to get back to his seat, because he'd go back and goes, "Praise the Lord, glory be," and he'd walk all the way back to us. So that's sort of how I got into the music. And then I didn't really do any of that. There was no Jay Allen 6 up until 2018, when I was at a jewelry store in the Villages, and an individual that used to attend, he's passed on, disabled Coast Guard, Wes, would sit in the front row, and he would come in to the jewelry store, and he says, I heard that you're a singer. And I'm like, yeah. He said, you ought to come out to this place called the Orange Blossom Opry. Now, keep in mind, I live 10 minutes from here and never heard of this place. I didn't have any idea what it was. And he did that for about 6 months, and he says, you can get up and sing with a band. I said, Wes, I've never sang with a band. I don't even think I could do that. I'm not good enough to do that. He goes, you ought to do it. So back then, the lady who was running it, I finally texted her, and she said, okay, well, this Thursday you can be here. What stage name do you use? And my name's Jason Allen 6. And when I did radio, I did J6, but I didn't want to do that, so I just shortened my first name to Jay, which most people that know me very well call me Jay Allen 6. So 2018 was the first time that Jay Allen 6 even existed. So,
nice. And
it all started right here.
Is it true
on this stage?
Is it true that you first met Bobby when he was trying to pawn all the jewelry from his earlier marriages?
Yeah, from his first 2 or 3 marriages, exactly. That's how I got to know him pretty well. I did him
I thought so.
And don't forget,
and he's trying to get me fired. Is what he's trying to do.
If you have any questions online or in the crowd, just raise up your hand or post them. We have a couple questions down here up front.
Barry from Seattle, Washington. What's the function of a guitar with 2 necks?
The function of a guitar with 2 necks. Depending on the guitar, generally speaking, a double neck guitar has a 12-string neck on the top and a 6-string neck on the bottom. So you can play like real chimey, jangly chords and stuff on the top neck, and then like lead notes and stuff on the bottom neck. So like a famous example would be the Eagles doing Hotel California. Don Felder would play a double neck, and he would play the intro like Dougie plays on a 12-string electric, but he would play it on the top neck of the double neck, which is a 12-string, and then he would play the lead on the bottom neck, which is the 6-string.
Do you have a left-handed double neck guitar?
I don't. I would like to have one, but and that's funny that you say that, because if I were to have a double neck, I would like to have a double neck that's 2 6-strings, but a regular 6-string on the top neck, and I'd like to have a baritone neck on the bottom neck. Because if you've ever been out, I have a neck that has a guitar that has the headstock backwards on it. That guitar is a baritone, which is longer than a regular electric guitar, and it has a deeper sound to it. So, like Sawyer Brown, 6 Days on the Road has a baritone on it.
Or like a Clint Black.
Clint Black, yeah.
Killing Time.
Yeah. We have another question right here.
Morning, Jay. John from Canada, proud to be an American today. Thank you. We've been to your center stage several times, and you have great artists, but they're playing your traditional country stuff for the band. But when Susan and I went to see the Stones last year down in Orlando, there was a band called Tyler Children's Band, and half that kids that were there would do every lyric to everything he was singing. And then there was eight of them in the band. Then they played with Stones. But last time I've been through Nashville, there's a whole group of kids that aren't singing traditional music. I wondered if there's any way you could add that to your lineup. It's just there's a whole fresh sound. It's not traditional country. Often they want to play their own music. Bob may not want to be the backup for it all, but would you be able to consider that?
So, and I know Dave will add into this, but I will tell you, and we've had this discussion. We did the Zach Top song 3 or 4 weeks ago. And here's why for the Opry that doesn't work very well, because of you mentioned kids. Now, when I think of kids, because I have a lot of kids. When I think of kids, I'm thinking 20s and their 30s, and they're really into that. And I know they're Child Childress and Zach Top, and there's all kinds of them that I don't really listen to that often. But for our demographic, if we played that kind of music, we would have to really market that to get the young, what I'll call young people, in here to hear it. Otherwise, besides you, there might be 6 other people that would recognize that name in our demographic, and then we would be. So it doesn't play very well. Yes, now if you can market that and say, hey, we're going to have a red dirt country night or whatever, I think that's sort of what they refer to that maybe.
Yeah.
If you had that, probably if you could get enough people to show up that want to do that, it might be successful. But other than that, it doesn't play very well to the demographic that we're playing to. Is that did I explain that pretty well?
Part of the problem with music, especially these days, where music is so prolific, there's music everywhere. You can find, you pick up your phone and you can find, artists from from East Africa that are doing Alan Jackson covers, But part of the problem is you can't please everybody. That's the old adage. You can't please everybody. And while we are trying to spread out here at the Opry, the Blues and Brews shows being a prime example, it's definitely a possibility in the future. But at this time, it's not really something that we're prepared to take on, because there's so many irons in the fire as it is. Just trying to build the Center Stage show up. We're fighting backlash from the previous shows and the style that they were done. And again, this coming Thursday, we're going to be doing a different format. So
it may look more familiar to you, the first set of the original, what we used to do, where they do a couple songs each individual rather than 5 or 6 songs of each individual. And we've added a fourth.
We've added another
fourth
singer.
Entertainer. So we're trying to make
You
it.
guys-
I think Thursdays are really like last Thursday was unbelievable, and I think we just build on that and
Right.
then get people out.
You've certainly got a dedicated fan base that loves coming here, so
Right.
Yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
you're doing is certainly working.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I see a lot of I see a lot of the familiar faces each Thursday, and that's one of my favorite things. And just tell everybody that all your friends. Thursday's are really a fun night, and you get to introduce some. Like you were saying, I was talking to Roger the other day, and that there was no J. Allen 6 before the Orange Blossom Opry, and that one first night standing here on this stage was an opportunity that really nobody else gives you an opportunity to do that other than this place. And it introduced me to what I didn't even know that I loved so much.
Well,
and I was hooked, and I was here almost as often as I could be here.
Big thanks to Roger Byers, the
Yeah.
owners, Roger and Heather Byers. They provide a great platform to bring
'Cause
new entertainment, new entertainers, to give them a platform to develop their talent.
Because you could probably turn Thursday night into another night where you had an act come in. But I know Roger and Heather kind of relish the idea that they can introduce new individuals that maybe don't have an opportunity to sing
Absolutely.
with a band. And boy, what an honor it is to stand up on this stage with a world-class band. I mean, the Orange Blossom Opry Band could play anywhere, could go anywhere, and back anybody. You could say, hey, name the artist, we need a backing band, and you could just plug them in, and they would be awesome from the beginning. So, boy, to stand with them behind you is pretty awesome. That's what we're trying to do with Thursday, and it's really cool.
We have a YouTube question.
Actually, I have 3.
Okay, well, bring them on.
Okay, the first one is from Karen, and she wants to know, when is Charlene coming back?
I only let Charlene out of the house about every 3 weeks, so just kidding. No, I don't know. Honestly, Charlene works a day job. She works very hard. So when she feels like it, honestly, hopefully I can get her motivated to start coming out more often.
You do a duo with her.
Charlene and I had our own band when we were living in Ohio. We had a group called She and I that was a full band. But we've continued that She and I tradition down here a little bit. We've started doing some duo work out towards Crystal River and Homosassa, that area. So if you're on the social medias, watch our pages, because we make announcements when we're going to do shows. So hopefully we'll start doing some more shows like that. And I know Karen is a big fan of Charlene, so thank you for that. And we'll try to get her out here more often.
The second question is from Marty. And she said last year at the Orange Blossom Opry on a Blues and Brews night, there was a very impressive musician who played a double neck. Do you remember who that was?
Mark. It was Mark. I can't think of his last name, but he was incredible. That he opened up. His name was Mark.
Yeah.
I bought his CD.
Mark Renard, wasn't it?
Amazing. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He played an acoustic guitar, and we were talking about double necks earlier, and he played a guitar that was a 12-string and a 6-string, but he only put 6 strings on each because he would play the top neck with this hand, play bass lines, and he would play the melody line on the bottom neck with this hand.
Yeah, I've never seen that done. Both necks, he was playing both guitars at the same time. He was incredible.
So the pickups, it doesn't matter which one you play, they're going to go through the sound. You don't have to be playing. Okay.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen anybody do that, Dave? I've never seen anybody play both necks at the same time.
Well, I have, but if you remember in the 80s, there was a guitar player named Stanley Jordan that would play, but he only did it on one neck. He would play the bass line with this hand, and he would play the melody line with this hand, and it was all tapping. And he was an amazing guitar player, or is an amazing guitar player. He's still around. So, Mark is his name. I can't remember his last name, but he opened for one of the acts and was really incredible. They've talked about trying to get him back in here, maybe to do a feature show of his own. So hopefully we can make that happen.
And the third question is from Keith Dennis. Does Keith have to tune his bass to different keys like Dave and Bobby do for their 6 strings?
Actually, yes. Keith, the thing about Keith, he plays, his main bass is a 5-string bass. And if you don't know, a 5-string bass has an extra low string. So where on a guitar, the top string is an E note, you go down 5 more notes from that, and that's Keith's low string, which is a B note. But on certain songs, for the sake of convenience, we will tune our guitars to a different key, a half step down, so it's easier to sing. Bobby and I will have a guitar each, or we have a little box that you can do it with, but Keith has a second bass tuned specially lower for those particular songs. But otherwise, the bass is just essentially a guitar an octave down. So, and thanks for the question. I appreciate it.
Dave, I am going to yield the chair to Kit because I was going to let Kit talk a lot more than me because he's super interesting to talk to. But
I was actually going to bring that up.
I was going to just say Thursday nights, center stage, they're a whole lot of fun. So I hope they all come out to see us. I get the pleasure to introduce some really good entertainment and listen to the band. So center stage every Thursday at 7:00, and he'll tell you where to get the tickets and everything. And thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for letting me on, Bobby. And Kit, if you want to come over.
If you watch our social media pages, our Facebook page, we make announcements. We try to make them as early as possible for the acts that are going to be coming on. So people that want to buy tickets will be able to get tickets earlier. And again, this Thursday, we have Ty Love is going to be a guest. John Johnson is going to be a guest. Gage Bolin and Kathy Pollock is going to be the 4 artists performing this Thursday. And speaking of new things, Clubber Kit Lang.
How's it going?
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. This has been phenomenal.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Kit is our new piano player. He's been a staple in the Villages doing a piano bar and dueling piano shows for quite a while. And he's a fantastic singer, fantastic entertainer, wonderful piano player, and just a great guy to hang around.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know Bobby likes to make fun of you that you're from the up north part of the world.
He always likes to say I'm from the crack, and then he doesn't ever finish the phrase, which I'm sure my hometown folks love that. But I was born actually in Iron Mountain, Michigan, and right on the border of Wisconsin and Michigan is the Menominee River. And I was born in Michigan, and I lived actually in both. My mom lived in one state, my dad lived in another, river in between them. But I went to school in Niagara, Wisconsin. and then stayed in Wisconsin for schooling, just because it was a great school. It was a phenomenal school, like great music programs and
So Niagara, that's where they fall down?
different Niagara.
Different kind of fall?
Anytime, growing up, you say, "I'm from Niagara Falls." No, that's in New York.
Well, I was trying to make a reference to the night that the 80s rock show was here.
Yeah.
He's not gonna let you live that down.
No, I will never live that down.
There's a nickname coming out of that. We just haven't got it yet.
But then the week after that, I came with a shirt that showed a guy like falling and said, "I do my own stunts." So I thought,
Kit
I'm going to own it.
They invited Kit to come up and sit in with him, and he comes running up the stairs and didn't quite clear the top step. And I was waiting for you to yell, "Parkour!"
Parkour.
Because he did this roll and comes back up on his feet, ready to play.
Although it's funny, every time we've had, we had the sax player from one of the bands. Which band was that? Oh, the Linda Ronstadt tribute. He came up from the audience and played a song with us during our opening set, and he tripped on the top step. And I was like, okay, it's not just me.
We're going to need a stage manager to hold a little flashlight over there.
Yeah. Kurt, we're going to have to get you to get a
There's
flashlight.
a new job for you.
You're just standing there doing nothing anyway, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was going to say that. But
I'll keep that in mind the next time you guys want something.
Right? Okay, so I asked Jay, and I'm going to ask you, how did you get into music? Have you always been a piano player?
Yeah, I got into music similar to Jay. I was church choir was really what started me doing it. And in second grade, I started taking piano lessons.
But much younger.
Yes.
I mean, unless you were 30 years old in second grade.
Well, some people are up there, but not me, no.
Upper Michigan.
it's a
now.
Michigan thing, yeah.
It's a Michigan thing. Yeah, I think Bobby was 48 when he finally graduated. So no, but I started in church choir, and then in second grade I took piano lessons, and I loved piano lessons. I had a phenomenal teacher, and Mrs. Wallenfang was her name, and she taught all the kids in town. It was a very small town, similar to 2,000 people, right on the border, and 32 kids in my graduating class, and we were a big class. But we all loved to take piano lessons from this lady. She was amazing. She taught us.
Well, a good teacher does that. A good teacher inspires, and that's the whole idea behind being a teacher, is to open young minds to the possibilities of what can be. And a good teacher will create great musicians,
And what she did is she taught us, first we had to learn all the theory, the theory behind playing the music before you touch the piano. Then when you started playing the piano, she wanted you to learn everything. So she's like, as soon as you know the theory, I'll show you. You can play classical, you can play jazz, you can play honky tonk. And then she would actually go get sheet music of the songs that are on the radio right then and there. So we weren't just playing the stuff she wanted us to play or our parents wanted to play. We could also play the top hits of the day. So that's how she kept everybody so engaged. Like, I'm going to show you, you can play anything and do anything. And she was always creative like that.
Well, Bobby always likes to tell the stories about how myself and Keith and Bobby, we grew up in the roadhouses. We grew up playing the honky tonks and doing the road work. Did you do that? Anything similar to that?
Not quite as similar as what you guys did. Like I said, I grew up playing. All the musicians that I knew then were all a lot older than me, and I was in junior high and high school, and I started hanging out with those kind of folks and learning to play. And I would sometimes go to the bars and play with them, or picnics and festivals. But then actually I really got into, when I was in 7th grade, I think my community decided to do a musical. And that's where I kind of got my start and really got hooked on the stage.
More theater type
It was
shows.
theater stuff, yes. Singing, dancing, big cast and stuff. I did that for quite some time. And then when I graduated and went to the University of Wisconsin, there was a group that does that. And they come here to the village every year. It's called the Wisconsin Singers. They're a touring Broadway-style show, song and dance, and full live band. And it's
Well, that definitely shows in your performance here that you know how to work the crowd and how to make your presence known.
I'm a little more animated back there. I'm not good at sitting still, ever.
So my question for you is that, see, I grew up in a right where there was a border of Ohio and New York, Pennsylvania, and you being a border child, what did you do to sneak over to the other state that you couldn't get away with in your state?
At that time, there really wasn't anything, but my mom tells stories about, so Wisconsin's the dairy state. My grandma lived in Wisconsin, And apparently, sometime in the late 60s, Wisconsin outlawed the use of oleo, margarine, fake, because we're the dairy state. You can only buy real butter in Wisconsin. There was actually a law on the books. So my grandma used to sneak across the border to go to another
was a
supermarket.
bootlegger.
She was an oleo bootlegger.
Oleo
oleo. She would buy it.
that.
They put it in a brown bag and she'd drive back across.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
An oleo bootlegger. So my grandma was a trip. She was the best.
So Bobby and I have talked. I mean, he gave me my nickname, Dangerous, from one of our biggest influences. Don Rich, the guitar player with Buck Owens and the Buckaroos, was known as Dangerous Don Rich, and Bobby's bequeathed that title to me. Who were some of the players that really ignited your passion for performing?
Obviously, as a piano guy, it was Billy Joel. I didn't really get into Elton John early on. That kind of came later, like in college and stuff like that. But Billy Joel, because he was rock and roll, and I've seen him like 9 times, and he's also just a performer. When he's on stage, he's not just up there. Like I always say, I saw Lyle Lovett years ago, and Lyle just sang there, deadpan, played and sang. It was fantastic, but I don't think he ever moved. Like he didn't do anything, but Billy's up there performing and rocking out and having a great time. Billy was one of my favorites. Styx is still my absolute number one
Dennis
favorite
DeYoung,
band.
oh, yeah.
Dennis's voice, Tommy Shaw, JY, those guys were, and plus they were from Rockford, I lived in Madison, Wisconsin for many years before I moved here, and those guys were Cheap Trick, REO, all those guys, that area, we saw those guys all the time performing, and they were phenomenal. But the Black Crowes were another, like Southern blues.
Now, did you listen to much like Billy Powell or Greg Allman or any,
No.
the Southern rock players? Billy Powell, to me, was the epitome of a Southern rock piano player,
Yeah, at those times, that music wasn't as popular with where we lived.
Well, and in fairness, you're a little bit younger than the rest of us.
Yeah, I think you're the closest in age. We're only a couple years apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would always go out. The bands I would see were doing that kind of. It was like
Right.
it was all the arena rock stuff. So
I grew up in the Southwest, and my dad was an old cowboy, so I grew up listening to the Waylon and the Merle, and my mom listened to the lady singer, Patti Page, Linda Ronstadt, a lot of Linda Ronstadt.
I love Linda Ronstadt. That show here was fantastic. They
Yeah,
did
she
a
was
great
she
job.
was awesome. Speaking of Linda Ronstadt and some of the tributes, real quick, we're running out of time real quick, but I wanted to make mention that we do have some incredible. The Rock the OBO series is still going on. We have Artemis Pyle Band this weekend. Next weekend we have Ticket to the Moon, which is an ELO tribute. If you've never seen them, they're fantastic. ZZ Top's Thunderbeard is going to be here October 18th. Go Now, the Moody Blues tribute, actually has members of the original Moody Blues in the group. So if you're a fan of the Moody Blues, they're going to be a great show to catch. Free Fallin', Tom Petty tribute on November 1st. Crush, our buddies from doing the Bon Jovi tribute on November 8th. Soul Sacrifice, November 15th, is a fantastic Santana tribute, and that features Keith Landry, who was a singer for Toto, the band. He was actually in the band Toto. He's singing with Soul Sacrifice. And then wrapping up the Rock the OBO series on November 22nd is Rocket Man, our Elton John tribute, and he is amazing.
That's the one I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah,
That one,
he's really, really good. And then starting November 30th is Christmas at the OBO. So if you don't have them already, the tickets are on sale. We have our Christmas shows coming up. Starting on November 30th, we have shows on the 4th, 5th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 19th, and 22nd. Is the Magic of Christmas is the show for this year.
21st.
21st,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We also have some great Christmas-themed shows. Ozzie and Harriet Nelson Family Christmas, starring the Nelson twins, is coming on December 6th. The Letterman's Christmas special is coming in. Cody is coming in, bringing the ultimate Elvis Christmas special. Let's Hang On is doing their Christmas show. They're fantastic. I just love those guys.
I got to tell you, I'm excited about Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. Before they started doing this show where they also they do shows about their dad, Ricky Nelson and stuff, they were in a rock band called Nelson. big, giant, blonde hair. I saw them live in Marquette, Michigan, and they were absolutely like they were a favorite of mine. Nobody else really got into them, but I thought they were amazing. They had great
I was
music.
a big fan of theirs.
Yeah.
Can't live without your love and affection, more than ever. And so, like, when I see these guys, it's gonna be like they're rock stars to me.
They-
This is,
you know,
this is
we
so
had the-
cool.
We had that talk that their timing. They were such a great rock band.
Yeah.
That their timing was right when that music was changing. They really got
Switching to grunge, and
Yeah,
they were
it
still.
was terrible.
They were robbed.
I've never gotten out of that. I mean, they know that. It gets sense that with me that I'm still playing
with
that
it.
80s rock.
Well, tying into some of the shows that are coming in, Eddie, we're running real close on time, but I wanted you to mention the album that you got. here
Yeah,
today.
Mark Chestnut's coming back. He was here one time, and man, just hit after hit after hit. That's Val's hometown of Beaumont, Texas. She's a Texas girl, and a lot of them guys come out of Beaumont.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Mark Chestnut. Oh man, too cold at home. There's so many hits you can't.
Yeah, we have some amazing shows coming up after the first of the year. Tickets are going to be going on sale real soon. If you didn't know, I wanted to make mention of this. I talk about the app. We have an official Orange Blossom Opry app that's available on all platforms. It's a free app. You can use the app to see who's coming in. You can buy tickets on the app. We had some technical issues with that, but we're working on getting everything taken care of. But if you're going to be buying tickets to come see us, the preferred method is in person because the ticket office here does get priority. So if you're going to be buying tickets, like I said, the Blues and Brews shows tickets go on sale today. If you want the best seats, the best way to get your tickets is to come to our box office and buy tickets here. So
Because they don't answer the
They don't
emails
answer
and
the
voicemails
phone.
until everybody
Yeah.
is taken care of here.
Everybody in line to buy tickets is always taken care of first. So, and that's one of the things that is special about the Orange Blossom Opry is that they really try to make the personal experience the very best it can be.
Did you ever have to wait in line? Do you ever being from the north, it was frozen up there, but did you ever have to wait all night and get in a line for when the tickets, everything was?
Yeah, we used to get them from was it Ticketron? Like it was in the back of a JCPenney's. Like it was part of their. Used to get them at
Who did you wait in line for?
I waited in line for the Black Crowes, Nelson, U2, some of those kind of bands. But yeah, we used to. Fortunately, up there, the JCPenney's was in a mall, so they let us hang out in the mall overnight because it was below zero at night. But yeah, the Ticketron office was
Now,
in the
see,
back
Dave
of a JCPenney's.
Dave being from the south, well, you spent some time in Ohio, so you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there was nothing like sitting out there all bundled up in blankets and everything else.
There's a
waiting.
reason I live here now.
Yeah.
Well, I always either played in the band or I did a lot of work in radio, so I haven't had to buy a lot of tickets.
Oh, well, this is way before that.
Right.
I remember waiting in line in the snow, coming down, bundled up for Kenny Rogers when Sawyer Brown opened for him. Oh, wow. And it was that my stepmother when Kenny Rogers hit that stage was just shaking. He was such a big star. He was huge.
That's my stepmom's favorite too. She was asking me, I was on the phone with her and my dad yesterday, and she's like, "When are you going to sing some Kenny Rogers?" Because I got to sing backup for Kenny for one show years ago in Madison, Wisconsin, and I got an autograph signed for them. And she's like, "When are you going to sing Kenny?" I'm like, "As soon as we talk about singing some more Kenny," because Randy does a great job on Ruby. That's such a great song. Kenny's got so many great hits. It's like, how do you
pick,
one?
right?
Yeah.
Well, fellas, believe it or not, we're already at the top of the hour, so it's time to say goodbye. I want to thank Kit and Jay and everybody, and especially a big thanks to our boss, Bobby. Buddy, be careful up there, and we look forward to having you back. Bobby will be back next Tuesday for the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you're downloading our app and go to all the social medias and give us a like and a follow. And from all of us, we'd like to say thank you for coming out and come to the Orange Blossom Opry because you'll be glad you did.
Great job, Dangerous.